In this video, we'll be looking at question 1.4 from 5C001. You should have read the scenario and know that this question is asking you to assess how technology could be used and what its impact might be within the organisation described in the case study. Before we dive into the approach, just a quick reminder. This video gives you general guidance on how to tackle questions like this one. It's not about giving you ready-made answers. You'll need to do your own research, bring your own analysis, and develop your own conclusions. With that said, let's walk through how to approach this step by step. First up, let's talk about understanding the question. You'll want to start by spotting the command verb, in this case, assess. That means you're being asked to make informed judgments, not just describe how technology works or list possible options. The question expects you to analyse how technology could be used in the scenario and to critically evaluate its potential impacts on work. So, focus on key areas like technology, impact, work systems and equipment, and employee experience. It's important to tailor everything you say to the specific details given in the scenario. Don't drift off into talking about general settings. Always link it right back to the case study. All right, now let's get into what it means to make judgments, not just descriptions. You're not just listing technologies or their features. Instead, weigh up how effective and relevant each option could be in the scenario. Use words that show you're evaluating. Maybe you'll talk about how well a particular technology might help address problems like high employee turnover, poor communication, or dissatisfaction. And don't forget to look at both the positives and the negatives. Be explicit about who might benefit or face challenges. For example, will permanent staff and agency workers be affected differently? Always give reasons for your judgments. Why would this specific technology be particularly helpful or possibly a bad fit for the organisation in the case study? Now, when it comes to planning your answer, here's a structure that works. Start with a brief explanation of why technology actually matters for the organisation after recent changes. Link it to things like better care or a stronger employee experience. Then, split your analysis into two main parts. First, explore how technology could actually be used. Think about work systems, equipment, how things would be implemented, what the spend might look like, and what kind of support is needed. Second, analyse what the impact could be on things like how work is done, the services people receive, efficiency, well-being, collaboration, satisfaction, and how job roles might evolve. Try to keep your word count balanced between these two sections. Wrap up with a concise overall judgment that sums up the potential for technology to support organisational goals in the scenario. And here's what's crucial. Make sure every paragraph you write has a clear point, supports it with evidence, and always ties it back to the scenario. Next, let's look at using the assessment criteria as your guide. Treat these criteria as a checklist for your answer. Make sure you hit each area. Think about the scale and types of technology, system updates, how effective things might be, what implementation would involve, costs, support, and impacts on different aspects of work. Match your analysis to these areas and think about where technology could play a bigger or smaller role in the specific organisation described. If you've got theories and models mentioned in your brief, take a look at which ones actually apply to the issues faced in the scenario. Pick the most relevant. When it comes to using sources and referencing, you'll want to identify 2 or 3 high-quality academic sources that relate to technology use in care settings or similar organisations. Paraphrase the key ideas from those sources and use in-text Harvard referencing for each one. Make sure you're using them to support specific points, not just as background info. Don't forget to format your reference list correctly. Connecting theory to the scenario is another big one. Use details from the case study, like changes in structure, staff engagement, or resident experience, to show how technology might solve or even worsen current challenges. Explain how the theories or frameworks you've chosen help you make sense of what's going on in the organisation. And make those links between academic concepts and real-world impact crystal clear. If you're aiming for high marks, depth matters more than breadth. So pick a few key points and analyse them in detail. Use sources and theories that really connect to your arguments. Structure your answer logically, and don't be afraid to acknowledge different viewpoints or trade-offs. What you're aiming for are balanced judgments that show you truly understand both the theory and the scenario. Last but not least, write clearly and concisely. Be selective. Make sure every sentence really pushes your analysis forward. Avoid repeating yourself or adding unnecessary detail. Make sure each paragraph has a purpose and is directly linked to the question and the assessment criteria. Aim for clarity and a smooth flow from start to finish. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, give it a like and subscribe for more guidance. Check out the other videos in this series for more tips on tackling your assignments.